Welcome back to Wave of Dalker, Weekly Music episode 39. We got 5 albums this week, and before we get into the video, I'm going to talk about it in all the albums this week, but there is a realigned rating system that will be utilized going forward to kind of get away from the constant 80s and, low 90s. I'm going to try to disperse it. But then again, like I said, I kind of listen to albums knowing that I'm going to have at least somewhat interest in it. This will not affect the previous ratings of albums and projects rated earlier in this series, earlier from the year, Emails I Can't Send Forward by Sabrina Carpenter. Looking back on it, would have gotten a much lower rating from me, but in the moment, I really enjoyed just the poppiness of it, and I like Sabrina Carpenter, so I gave it 3 hot dogs out of 5, but at this point, it would probably be, it would probably still be 3 hot dogs out of 5, it would probably be in the 60s or 50s, but I digress. New rating system. The albums will be rated appropriately, in my understanding of what ratings should be in a more broad sense as opposed to just being 80s or 70s. So just take note of that going into this video. Like I said, 5 albums this week. Like and subscribe. And here's the guy. Album number 1 of the week, Different Trains / Electric Counterpoint by Steve Reich, came out in 1989. I said this album a while ago. I think after listening to some Pat Metheny, maybe some other piano stuff, composition stuff a while ago. But yeah, regardless, I saved it a while ago. And this album fucking kicked ass. He's a composer. It was very reminiscent of, this is a Boss Baby comparison, but Ludwig Göransson's score for Chris Nolan's Oppenheimer. It had that very intense feel to it. Very heavy on the allusions to war, direct connections to war. I imagine World War II, maybe just Cold War stuff. Reich, I think, is a German surname, so maybe similar to that. But yeah, just a very intense, very I don't know, it put you in a mood. Like it felt just very grandiose, and I mean that's just kind of the nature of composition, and like the nature of what orchestras are able to compose and just make with their instruments and such. But I don't know, I don't really know how to describe it. Like it just felt straight out of like a documentary, straight out of a montage, just showing the strife and the struggles of war. I don't know, I thought it was fantastic. I really enjoyed it. This week I'm going to revise the Wave of Dalker scale, try to be a little bit more, try to go lower a little bit, because like I'm not going to love every album. I think I think you need to branch out the scale a little bit. So I'm going to go give me 81 hot dogs out of 100 for Different Trains / Electric Counterpoint by Steve Reich. On to the next album. Album number 2 of the week, Fantastic by Wham. Came out in 1983, and it was fantastic. I've listened to another Wham album, Make It Big. Big fan of Wham, big fan of George Michael. One of the greatest voices of all time. Everything She Wants, Last Christmas, Wake Me Up Before You Go Go. Endless hits. He is the man. And shit, what's the other guy's name? This is so embarrassing. It's on the screen right now. Yeah, just such a phenomenal group. Kind of, I mean, not necessarily ahead of their time, but it's just they kind of are just doing their own thing. It just works so well. Just like the funkiness, like it's almost like R&B, and it's crazy. Like it's coming out in the 80s and 90s. Like it is that popular punk. Like it's like, Tears for Fears, not popular. It's like that popular, it's pop. It's pop from that era. And then, it fits in sort of with what Prince was doing, what, Tears for Fears, those sort of groups. But it just feels so different. And I just love Wham. I love George Michael. And the song was awesome. What's the song that I fuck with on this one? Nothing Looks the Same in the Light is the one that I was thinking about. I heard that song earlier in a, I think I was listening to like an R&B playlist. That song fucks. This whole album is awesome. There's a Wham rap that's very like B-52s. If you listen to it, you understand what I'm saying. This album's awesome. It was great. Listen to it. It was fantastic. And it is called Fantastic. But yeah, Fantastic by Wham. I'm gonna go with the realigned Week in Music scoring chart. I'm gonna go 88 hot dogs out of 100 for Fantastic by Wham. On to the next album. Album number 3 of the week, Product by Brand X, came out in 1978. I saved this album a while ago, I imagine, while listening to some jazz fusion group, either that of, Return to Forever, Mahavishnu Orchestra, Soft Machine, Bruford, Hatfield in the North, the like. This album was just a nice and easy breezy, guitar jazz fusion project. I haven't listened to anything by Brand X before. I'd like to in the future. I thought this cover was really great as well. It's just like an inoffensive, simple, funky jazz fusion project. 90% instrumental. There was a few lyrics here and there, but with a jazz fusion project, you're just gonna get just some rockin' guitar, some rockin' keys, just good stuff throughout. Really, nothing too crazy here. With the realigned Week in Music ranking system here, I'm gonna go 72 hot dogs out of 100 for Product by Brand X. Just some good old-fashioned jazz fusion, baby. I love it. On to the next album. Album number 4 of the week, Wish by The Cure, came out in 1992. This is the first album I've listened to front to back by The Cure, but I am familiar with their music. Friday I'm in Love, Boys Don't Cry, Blase Blah. I don't know if you guys have seen it. There's an SNL sketch where it's like the soundtrack for like a fictional horse baseball movie, and Andy Samberg is playing Robert Smith, and it's really funny. You should check it out. But this album was awesome. Really exceeded my expectations, honestly. My impression of The Cure is like cry pop, where it's just that very like it's just kind of like that. But this album was a lot more than that. There was bits of like that. Like that's just kind of how I think that's just Robert Smith's MO. If that's fair to say. I thought this album was awesome. A lot of really cool, like dreamscapey kind of production on some of the tracks. It was great. Friday I'm in Love is on this album, and that's a great track. Great song, classic. Is it like glam pop? Is that like the sort of genre that The Cure falls under? It was awesome. I thought, like I said, it exceeded my expectations, and just some really good like compositions, and it was just great. It was a great, in like the same vein as the Smiths, stuff like that. I just love that kind of genre, I suppose. But I'm gonna go 83 hot dogs out of 100 with the new Week in Music aligned rating system. So keep that in mind. But 83 hot dogs out of 100 for Wish by The Cure. On to the last album. Album number 5 of the week, Bandana by Freddie Gibbs and Madlib. Came out in 2019. Very familiar with Freddie Gibbs. Very familiar with Madlib as well and his production. These two seem to have made a lot of collaboration albums together. It was The Alchemist, I think, for Alfredo, right? Or maybe it was just Freddie Gibbs on his own. Regardless, Freddie Gibbs is a fantastic rapper, and Madlib is a fantastic producer. Freddie Gibbs has a very unique flow, and I'm a big fan of it. It's like, like it has that kind of flow to it. What was that one album I listened to with like Too Legit and Diamonds, whatever the hell? That's a great album by him. But I love his flow. And last night, Clairo made an appearance at one of his anniversary concerts for an album with Madlib from 2014, and Clairo did a cover of the sample for Crime Pays that's on this album, and it was great. And the song Crime Pays was also fantastic. There's another song, Palm Olive on this that has a really funny sample at the end, and there's a lot of really great just vocal samples on this of just like comedy bits and like just stuff from all different sorts of media at the end of each song. And it was so funny. Like I actually I verbally laughed at the sample at the end of Palm Oil, I forget. This album was awesome. I love Freddie Gibbs. I love Madlib, and whenever a fantastic, lyrical, a rapper with a really good flow, gets in touch and works with a great producer like Madlib, like The Alchemist, like the Conductor Williams. It makes a great project. Very Boldy James-esque. I feel like Boldy James and Freddie Gibbs are very similar artists in terms of the projects that they end up making. It's a lot of... They work with producers a lot. Fruitful bounties. But yeah, I'm going to go 79 hot dogs out of 100 with the realigned Weekend Music rating system. Yeah, on to the next album. And now I'm back. Thank you for watching Weekend Music episode 39. As always, suggest albums in the comment section below. And yeah, that's all I got. So like and subscribe, and peace out.